So I wanted to talk about the fresh cut flowers. So here's the fresh cut flower stamp set. This is a stamp set in the catalog, the big catalog right now. And then a few months ago, they brought in a set of dies to coordinate with it. This was called the like Perfect Partners promotion. And I don't feel like it got as much love as it really should have. And unfortunately, the promotion ended and they had a bunch of these dies left over from this set and other sets that were in the promotion. And they have discounted them. Look at that, 40% off. So this set of dies is $13.60. Crazy. The stamp set's going to be $8.80. So look at how cheap you can get a set of dies and a set of stamps. I mean, wow. And so I did a class, my Fresh Cut Flowers class. I think the link to this class is in the description of this video. If I show you the cards that we did in the class, because I have to say they're pretty amazing if I do say so myself. Here are the cards. Super pretty, lots of fun. I just used all the different elements that were in the dies and the stamps. I tried to use everything that was in there. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoy that. I'm also going to be using the Design a Daydream. This is the Host Designer Series paper that I chose this pattern here as a little goodbye to Mint Macaron. So we're going to be using that today. And we've got an inside piece and we've got some outside pieces. I've got an envelope that's going to go on the envelope. Okay, so what I have here is an envelope and a piece of Designer Series paper. I have, I think, a 1 3/4 by something. Yes, 1 3/4 by 4, which I'm going to have to cut that down because I decided yesterday to change my layer size. My layer size is 3 7/8 in length, and so I'm going to go ahead and just trim this off really quickly to 3 7/8. Now, I do have to give a little shameless plug. This is a trimmer that Stampin' Up! Offered to new demonstrators a couple years ago during Celebration. We don't have it available anymore. We don't sell it. You can't get it free. But I did find basically the same kind of trimmer on Amazon. And if you're interested in just a cute little desktop trimmer, it's compact, it's tiny, it makes nice, clean cuts, and it doesn't take up very much room. So I do have it linked below in the description of this video in my Amazon store. I have a lot of different things in my Amazon store, honestly. I also have something called my Crafty Favorites that takes you to my blog and shows you all kinds of things that Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell, but that I use in my crafting just to make my crafting better, easier, more convenient, what have you. Okay, so our piece of paper is now 3 7/8. That's what we needed it to be. Okay. Then I have a piece of Sahara Sand retiring, but it looks so good with Mint Macaron. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these things together. So I'm gluing the DSP to the layer of white right here at the bottom. Okay. Oh, goodness. You know what? I think I should be okay. Because I did die cut this piece. This is one of the pieces in the die set. It's a border piece. And isn't that just the coolest thing ever? I just love this. And so I should have put this on my Designer Series paper first. But as you guys know, Barb always has to make everything difficult. And so we are going to instead tuck it under the piece of Designer Series paper. Because we have to, because I screwed up. So I'm just going to push it over to the edge. And then I want just a little bit below the diamonds to show. I think that is about what I'm looking for. Okay, and then we're just going to trim off that excess. There we go. Looks like my DSP is a skosh. And when I say a skosh, I mean a skosh. That's my mom's word. A skosh too long. Okay, we're going to add that to the layer of Sahara Sand. So we're basically going to get this whole card ready, and then we're going to do some stamping and coloring. Okay. So, and I cut this. So my white layer is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And so then my Sahara Sand layer is 4 by 5 1/4. And then our card base, obviously, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then I'm going to add this to the card with dimensionals. And I just am getting so close to using up this final, the final bits on here. Oops, I cannot get that off. I need better fingernails, I think, is part of the problem here. Okay, always put one in the middle because we don't like things to sag. And that way it will help it not to sag into the middle. All right, let's see if I can center this. Chances are no, but we're going to give it a try. All right, so I hope you guys have fun plans for the weekend. I mean, obviously not you guys that are going to be hunkering down for storms, because you're going to be hunkering down for storms. Hopefully you've gone to the grocery store and gotten everything you need to stock up for. I have not, but ours isn't supposed to be coming until Tuesday. Oh, Bonnie, you're so sweet. Bonnie says to give me a thumbs up. Or maybe she gave me a thumbs up. So I'm going to remind all of you to give me a thumbs up. And you can subscribe to my channel right down here. If you happen to be new to my channel, this is the first time you're ever catching me, I hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm very happy that you're here, and you can subscribe to my channel right down here somewhere. I believe, sometimes not when I'm live, but after the fact. And then you can be notified when I go live, which is normally Thursdays at this same time. So normally I'm live Thursday evenings, 4 Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. So there you go. Okay. We got that basically done. Now we've got our layer of white. I have the large image from the stamp set. I've got some Memento ink here. The stamp is large, so I like to have it face up on my block. It's just easier for me that way. Then I can make sure I get it all nice and inky. And then we're just going to stamp it on this piece of white. Press down, make sure we get it all done. There we go. Put that off to the side. Get the ink closed up. And we're going to do a little coloring on this. So what I'm going to use here is I have a soft, not Sahara Sand, Stampin' Right marker. And then I have Mint and Pale Papaya blends. And so I'm going to do the leaves in light mint. So we're going to do all the leaves. I'm not going to do everything on here just because I've already got it done and die cut, but I just kind of want to just show you my process of what, how I do it. So I'm going to color all of the leaves with my light blend first. And then there's like some little stem kind of areas on the flowers here. So we will get that also in the light mint. And there we go. And again, you guys, since these colors are retiring, things like blends and cardstock and ink refills are the things that are going to go quickly. So if you have mint macaron in your arsenal of colors and you do like it, I really recommend getting a refill and getting some cardstock. If you have blends or you don't have blends, go ahead and get some. If you have some, sometimes I like to get another set just because I feel like, the light one is the one I use the most and it typically goes dead the quickest. All right, so then we're going to bring in the dark, and we're going to use the lines that Stampin' Up! Has already given us to add some accents. And now when this actually dries, it'll be slightly lighter than it appears right here, but it'll look pretty good. Okay, and then for the flowers, I'm going to use the dark papaya. And I'm going to do the entire flower in the dark with the exception of the center area here. So I'm kind of just going to go around that area with my dark and not color that in yet. Trying to stay in the lines, but when the thing is a little far away from your eyeballs, it's kind of hard. We'll just do our best because that's all we can do, right? Okay, so we have that. So we'll do one more. I'll do the same kind of thing, just kind of go around that center area. because I want to come in and do that with my light pale papaya, because I don't want the whole thing to be super dark. That to me would just look weird. Now, I'm not into the shading. I'm not that good at coloring. Sometimes, you know, I get lucky and I can shade pretty good. But for this, it's a lot of area to cover, and I didn't want to, you know, take forever coloring it. Because I just, you know, that's just not the jam I was going for. All right, so now we've added a little bit of lightness to the middle, and then I'm going to bring my dark back in. And I think I'm going to put, there's like these little tiny circles in the center of this flower here. And I'm going to add some dark to that. And actually, I have my piece already cut out, and I didn't do it. So I'm going to come back in here and add the dark pale papaya dots to the middles of all the flowers. Okay. Then my Sahara Sand marker. Oh, whoops, I want the other side. I am going to use this to color in these little, I don't even know what these are. Maybe pussy willows? I don't know. I don't even know what kind of flowers these are. And sometimes I wonder if, you know, the concept artist, whoever designed this stamp set, maybe they just drew them freehand. Maybe they're not any sort of specific flower. I don't know. Okay, so then I would take that to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I would die cut it out. Here we have it. I also die cut the same image out of Sahara Sand, and I'm going to layer these together because that's going to give us a little bit of shading around our flowers. But before we actually add them to the card, I'm going to stamp a couple of images on here. Another stamp in the set. So I'm going to use this kind of bold stamp right here and some mint macaron ink. And again, don't do what Barb does. Do what Barb says, not what Barb does. I should have done this on my white layer before now, but I forgot. So, but we're going to make it work because that's how we roll here. We just make stuff work. Okay, so I've got my little grid paper here. Now, these grid papers are retiring, you guys, because our Stamparatus is retiring, as you may have heard. And so the grid paper is going to retire also. If it doesn't sell out during the retirement period, it's going to go to an online only or online exclusive area of the website. So you can still order it until it's gone. But it's not going to like go away. Like most things, once they retire, they're gone, but this will stay in the store and you can purchase it until it's sold out. So I'm going to stamp that off, and then I am going to stamp it onto my card, but I need another scratch paper because like I said, I should have done this already. Ugh. All right. It's going to be fine. It always is. Whenever I screw up, I always seem to make it work. It just drives me crazy that I screw it up in the first place. So there you go. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to add a little bit of greenery on there so that when I put my flower down, I have some greenery already on there, which I think is kind of cool. So I'm going to add this to my Sahara Sand die cut. Oh, goodness, I just dropped it. And there we go. We're going to add that to our piece that was cut out with the Sahara Sand. And like I said, we're going to kind of offset it a little bit so that we can get some like shading going on there. Okay. And there we have that. Beautiful. And I'm going to add that with some dimensionals. Oh, I only have mini ones now. Oh, I know what I can do. I can cut this. There we go. And we'll use a few of these little guys, these little pieces on this. And, oh, where did I cut those? Right here. I think that'll fit there. I think I need a skinnier one down here. Okay. Thank you, Courtney. She says this is a beautiful card. I know. I was very happy with this card when I got it done. In fact, I love this stamp set and these dies, you guys. I really, really do. I really got a great look at it when I was making my class. And there's just so many fun elements in the die set. And every image in the stamp set has a coordinating die. Plus, then you get other dies. So like this border strip here, which is so cool. I already did the inside of the card. So you can see we have this little like foliage piece, this mint macaron foliage piece. We have these 2 little flowers here. I mean, yeah, so much fun. So I do need to put some sentiments on here. So let me bring in, what am I looking for? Oh, my sentiments. One of the sentiments says thank you, and it's actually out of the same set that I used in the first card, the Celebrate You. It's just a very small little thank you, and I'm going to stamp it. Where's my scrap? Oh, here's a scrap right here. This is what I was looking for. This is a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to ink this up in Sahara Sand because I wanted it to be a little bit darker ink. Black was too dark. So I wanted it to be still a little dark. So we're going to go Sahara Sand. We're going to try to make it even here. Yay. And then thank you so much, Kathy. She shared the video. Yay. I love that. Thank you guys so much. That really helps me grow my channel, grow my business. You know, as you know, being a demonstrator is a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. This is actually my full-time job. And so, you know, anytime I can get somebody to, you know, share my video or, you know, tag me, you know, on Facebook in something that they've created that they were inspired by me. Anytime any of that happens, that's really helpful. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to put the thank you down here. And I know I make a lot of thank you cards, but you know what? I seriously need a lot of thank you cards because I have a lot of people to thank all the time. Okay, so now I've got my little stamp from the plants stamp set. And I'm going to bring in a foam mat because this is photopolymer. And sometimes photopolymer. And you know what I'm going to do? This is a little trick that I do sometimes, you guys. I'm going to put my sentiment right here. And then I'm going to have my little area up top to work with to add my my written wishes. But I do like to do this sometimes, is to add my sentiment down here at the bottom where all my decoration is. I just think it looks kind of fun, kind of cool, different. You know, not... We don't have everything, doesn't have to be the same all the time. And so that's just a fun way to kind of just do something a little bit different. Add your sentiment in a different place, you know, just for fun. Okay, now we're going to add this to the inside. And then I don't even have any gems. Oh, yes, I do. I lied. They're right here. I didn't think I had gems, but I do. I don't have ribbon. That's what I'm not using is ribbon. I'm using some gems. So I just went with some subtle. I'm going to use these white ones. Opaque adhesive backed gems. Ooh, Courtney says, are you on Pinterest? I am on Pinterest. And Courtney, I'm trying to think if I'm Barb Stamps on Pinterest or if I'm Barb Mulligan, my actual name. I can't remember. I think it's Barb Stamps because when I set all that stuff up years ago, I was very much into, you know, using my business name for stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's Barb Stamps. Okay, so I'm going to add a few. And these little gems, there's not a whole lot to them, but they do catch the light. Whoops, I want that somewhere else. Can I get that off? Yes, I'm going to put it down here instead. There. Fun, fun, fun. And then we have our envelope, which I am going to do right now. I like to use liquid glue when I do my envelopes, and I try to get the glue as close to the fold line as I can. Not really thick, just a lot of glue, but not very thick glue, because you want to make sure that you get the whole thing covered. All right, let's get that right up to the fold line there. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and trim off the excess. And now I'm guilty of this. Every time I trim off the excess, I cut off some of the envelope. It just happens. I don't mean to. It just happens. But I feel like it doesn't matter because no one's going to know. I mean, no one's going to get this in the mail and look at it that closely and go, oh my word, she cut off some of the envelope. I just did though. There it is. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, the paper is perfect. The paper has so many different designs in it, you guys. If you haven't checked this out, which you probably have, but if you haven't, there's so many different designs, so many different things that you can do with this. This is the one that I chose right here. I also was looking at doing this one and using Pool Party instead of mint. But I wanted to use mint because I wanted to give it a last hurrah. You know, it's been good to me. It's been around for a long time and I've really enjoyed it. And so I wanted to give it another little hurrah to say goodbye. And Sahara Sand has never been a color that I grab all the time. And I don't know why that is. I think it's because it's kind of got some green undertones, and I don't use a lot. I'm not really a green stamper all the time. And I think that might be why I never really gravitated towards it too much. So, yeah, I just wanted to give some things some love in case you guys are, you know, you got some money you want to spend, you got that tax return or something like that, and you need to spend it on something.